Hi, and welcome to my channel. Happy New Year. If you're new here, my name is Gerard Younger. And for today's video, I just want to make this video to pretty much answer a question I get quite a bit, which is what gear do I use and what would be my YouTube process for putting together a video. And so I haven't made a lot of videos yet, but I've made about 10, but so far I've sort of been able to put together a process that works for me that I want to go ahead and share with you. And hopefully this would be a beneficial video for you that you can probably take tips from to hopefully improve your YouTube workflow and make it a bit easier or more efficient. So if you're interested, let's go ahead and jump into what my workflow would be for creating these videos. So first, I'll begin with the primary camera I use for shooting my YouTube videos, which would be the Sony Fx3. This camera is a beast, it's a workhorse, and overall the image quality packs a punch. I've used it first on my XM4 versus XM5 YouTube video, and ever since then this has been the primary A camera that I use for shooting the sit-down talking head portion of my YouTube video. Now for the lens that I pair with the FX3, that would be either the 35mm 1.4G master or the 50mm 1.2G master. But as of lately, I've been leaning more toward the 50mm 1.2 because it just gives me a more crisp image and it has tack sharp autofocus, which helps with just the sit down talking head video portion. But I also use a Tiffin Black Pro Mist 1.4 filter to try to soften up the image and take away a bit of the sharpness from the image. And so it kind of gives it a more dreamy look and just an overall image that I like for YouTube. Now to move on to the secondary camera, or the B cam that I use on this channel, that would be the one and only Sony Alpha 1. I primarily bought that camera for its photography capabilities, but it also has video capabilities, and one of them would be shooting in 8K, which is not available on the FX3. And so I mainly use the A1 for shooting B-roll footage to get those micro, detailed, up-close shots of products. Now the lens that I use with the A1, that would be the 24-70 2.8 G Master lens Mark II. And that typically just stays glued to the A1 for my B-roll footage on YouTube. And that just gives me a bit of versatility to shoot either wide or close-up shots for B-roll. On the Sony FX3, the file format that I record in is XAVC SI 4K at the highest bitrate available. And I output in RAW to an external monitor, which would be the Atomos Ninja V. And on the Ninja, I have that set to record in ProRes RAW. So the final format that I get is a ProRes RAW format, and the file sizes can be large. However, for me, that's not a huge issue. The reason why I use it is for the highest possible image quality out of the FX3, and it just plays back buttery smooth on the two Mac systems that I have in Premiere Pro. On the Sony A1, I record in XAVC HS 8K, and I record to an external monitor as well for that camera to the Atomos Ninja V. The Atomos Ninja V only accepts a 4K image. However, when you record in 8K on the A1 to the Ninja, the 4K image comes out better than if you record in 4K on the camera to 4K out of the Ninja. So with the 8K, you kind of get a sort of a down-sampled image with that 4K image that you get out of the Atomos. So I record 8K in camera and I get a better image with the 4K out of the Atomos. Now the output format that I set the Atomos Ninja V to for the A1 would be DNxHR, which works really well on Premiere Pro on the machine that I have. It plays back very smooth. When I'm shooting on either camera, I'm recording an S-Log3 at their native base ISO, which is 800, which allows me to get the best quality image out of both cameras. For storage, I use two Samsung drives. One is a T7 and the other is a T7 Shield drive, and they have around 1,000 megabytes read and write speeds. So they make the process of offloading footage from my external recorder to my computer fairly quick and easy, even if the file sizes are really large. Both drives use a USB-C 3.2 Gen 2 connection to your computer. One thing I wanted to mention is the size of these drives. They're fairly small. You can fit these into a laptop bag or your pocket and travel with them pretty easily. Here's a size comparison next to an iPhone 14 Plus. These drives are very small. Now for the storage that I use with the external recorder on the Ninja V, I have a 1TB Western Digital Blue SSD drive, and I have it installed in the enclosure that comes with the Atomos Ninja V. And with that 1TB size, I don't really run into any space issues when I'm doing a video shoot on YouTube. It would be plenty of space typically for the videos I make. When I finish recording on the external monitor, to offload the footage, I use an adapter. It's a USB 3.1 adapter to SATA, and that allows me to connect directly to the drive and have it plugged into my computer to transfer the footage to my Samsung drives. For audio, I use the Sennheiser MKH-50. And this is the microphone that I've used for my last 3 videos for my indoor audio recording. And it's boomed right about here above my head in the shot here. And that's what's recording all of the audio for my videos or talking head. So I used to use the Rode NTG3, and I think that one actually sounds better in my opinion for my voice. However, the Sennheiser does a pretty good job in terms of just rejecting background noise compared to the NTG3, and has pretty good sound quality. So I have it going directly into the top handle on the FX3. So the audio is being captured with the video from the camera. The mic itself is on a K&M microphone stand that has a telescoping arm to bring it closer to me to have it boom right outside the shot above my head. And I don't have it directly on the camera because the camera is 5 feet away from me. So I just have a XLR cable going into the microphone, and it leads all the way back to the XLR handle on the FX3, and it plugs into input 1 on the top handle. The simple answer is no, I do not use a script. If I did, my videos would probably be better. However, I just feel like the process of doing a script, it just adds a lot more to the process of making a video. So what I'll do is I'll use my iPad. I have a program that I have, it's called Good Notes. And I just write down a list of subjects that I want to cover. And then I'll have bullet points under each subject of things I want to basically speak about under that subject for my video. I use a Mac Studio M2 Ultra. I'll have all the specs on the screen so you can see exactly what I spec'd mine out with. But this thing is an absolute powerhouse. It plays back all the footage I needed to, from DNxHR to ProRes RAW to the XAVC SI 4K from directly in camera on the Premiere Pro timeline with no issues at all. Everything plays back silky smooth. I'm actually a Windows guy. All of the previous desktops that I've had have been Windows PCs that I've built myself. However, what turned me over to Apple with the Mac Studio is the amount of power that you get in such a small form factor. In terms of monitors that I use with the Mac Studio, I have an Asus 27-inch 1440p IPS panel. I have a Apple Studio display, which is also 27 inches, and that's a 5K panel, which is IPS as well. And then I have a 29-inch ultra-wide LG 1080p IPS panel that's in landscape mode. When I'm working in Premiere Pro, I'll have the Lumetri scopes, the Lumetri color panel, and the effects controls on the landscape monitor. I'll have the timeline on the Asus monitor, and then I'll have the video preview on my Apple Studio display. I edit all of my videos in Adobe Premiere Pro. When I pull the video into Adobe, it's an S-Log3, and so the video is just flat and gray. So I'll use a Phantom LUT to color grade, and specifically I'll use the Utopia LUT. But for color correcting, I'll use the Color Checker Video from Calibrite. This allows me to correct a white balance, and then I can also color correct the color in the video. But there's a tool in Premiere Pro that I use, it's free, and it's called the MBR Color Corrector 3. And I use that to color correct the video footage that I have using the color checker video. So hopefully this video was helpful for you for answering questions on what my YouTube process would be for what I do or use to make a YouTube video. I didn't cover every single thing in this video, but if you have any particular questions, you can leave them in the comment section below. If you found this video to be helpful, please leave a like. If you want to see any future content from me, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.